Remember when a single summer vacation felt like an entire lifetime? You'd leave school in June, and by August, you'd lived 3 different lives. But now, you blink in January, and suddenly you're carving a turkey at Thanksgiving. Standard time is a physical constant. A day remains exactly 24 hours long, ticking away at the same pace it did when you were 7. This perceived acceleration happens because our internal biological hardware shifts as we age. To understand why life feels like it's fast-forwarding, we need to locate the specific mechanism inside the brain that changes how we observe reality. Growing older changes the way the human brain records and processes every second of our lives. The brain's visual processing works much like a camera's frame rate. In childhood, the brain is furiously building new neural networks, allowing it to process sensory information at a very high speed. This timeline represents a single day. A child's brain captures more frames, filling it with dense sensory data. Every bug is a distinct node. As neural pathways mature, electrical signaling slows. On this adult timeline, the brain captures only a few widely spaced nodes. Processing fewer frames per second results in a drastic drop in the total sensory data recorded every day. Because the brain perceives less data, it creates the illusion that time is passing more quickly. Beyond physical processing speed, the brain also changes how it stores the data it manages to capture. Children live in a world of constant novelty. Their brains flag these new experiences as critical information, requiring detailed and vivid memory storage. Adult brains prioritize efficiency. Once we understand how the world works, we rely on established routines rather than fresh observations. When we are in this efficiency mode, the adult brain ignores mundane actions like commuting or checking emails. To save energy, it simply doesn't create a permanent record of those hours. Without novel memories, we have no internal landmarks to reference when we look back at our week. When the brain writes no new memories, that period of time effectively vanishes from our perception. A year lived entirely on autopilot leaves behind a hollow record, which makes the entire 12-month period feel like it passed in an instant. While we cannot reverse the slowing of our neural pathways, we can intentionally influence how we form new memories. We can force the brain out of efficiency mode by injecting novelty into our daily lives. Small changes, like taking a new route home or cooking an unfamiliar recipe, force the brain to wake up and write new memory files. Look at the difference on this timeline. These new memory landmarks act as anchors. When you look back at your week, those points of novelty stretch out your perception of how long that week lasted. We perceive the length of our lives through the accumulation of unique data and personal experiences. Seeking out the unfamiliar stretches our perception of individual days, making our lives feel longer and more detailed.